Welcome to the Real Estate Niche Show, a show that focuses on top real estate professionals who specialize in different niches of real estate. My name is Ben Kogut. Join me as we dive deep into the professional and personal lives of the experts of the real estate industry. Welcome to the Real Estate Niche Show. I'm your host, Ben Kogut, and today I have a friend of mine, Matt Delahoussaye, is on the show. Matt is a founding partner and broker of record of the Commercial Market Exchange based here in the Austin, Texas area. Matt, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Good talking to you.
My pleasure. I've been, wanting to have you on the show for a while just because I just love your high energy. And I love how much you've been able to accomplish over the years here in Austin. I've known you for definitely more than 10 years. I'm not even sure how long it's been, brother. But give us all a little background on what your involvement is in the commercial real estate business.
Sure, man. Yeah. So I started my company several years ago, and I've been in the business for quite some time. Since the Stone Age, I guess. It's been a while. I've seen the dot-com failures in the 90s and as well as the 08 decline in the market due to the mortgage industry, So I've witnessed the good times and the bad. Right now is the heyday. And so we're focused on a lot of different types of opportunity right now because there's opportunity across the board. I've been somewhat of a chameleon in the business over the years because, the diversity has allowed us to kind of flow one direction or another with the business, depending on what the economic demands are, the market demands. And so because of that, we've created a very crazy business because we have so many people coming to us for different things. Ultimately, years ago, I was the bar restaurant guy in downtown Austin for years. I did all the bars and restaurants there, and that was the main focus of my business for a long time. And did everything brokering the businesses as well as the real estate, sales and leasing, and every factor of that. But since then, kind of gotten away from some of the downtown Austin stuff because we're really focused on the suburbs. There's been a lot of opportunity created by the fact that people are living, working, staying in their neighborhoods, in their areas, and consequently, the sales tax revenue in the different cities has gone up tremendously. So it's created a lot of opportunity for other people to come in and do great things. I'm opening up a live music venue, restaurant, and bar out by Lake Travis right now because there's a big hole in the market out here. We've got nothing to do. So I'm taking advantage of that opportunity right now to create some cool things for us to be entertained by. We're also building an entertainment district in Leander, in downtown Leander, where we've acquired almost all the properties on a couple of streets, and we're working our way around the block to acquire more to make somewhat of a rainy street type of idea around the city of Leander. And so with the support of the city, we're able to reassess the zoning on these properties to bring it to a higher and better use. We're focused on a master plan with downtown to address parking related issues, lighting, cross access, walkability, lots of things. And so because it's an entertainment type thing, the city is working with us with sound ordinances, alcohol laws where we can walk with an open container within the development, and lots of other things. I'm just going to make it really cool because all the businesses are going to be tied together. They're going to feed off of each other. And, the properties that I've personally bought with partners is connected with some other friends' businesses. And so we're going to kind of form like a joint effort to help these businesses all be very sustainable together, because at the same time, you go and put one business in one place, it may do okay, but it'll do a lot better if you have 10 opportunities to go eat out and drink in the same spot, and live music. And live music is a passion of mine. I graduated high school in 84 in Louisiana, and I came here in 1985, and I saw Stevie Ray Vaughan at a free concert in the park at Auditorium Shores right before he died. And I fell in love with the live music scene and everything. And I feel like Austin's gotten a little bit away from that, so we're bringing it back. I mean, the place that I'm building right now is going to be one of the coolest places in town. We'll be open next week. If you want to check it out, go to luckyrabbitbar.com.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to go check that out, Matt, for sure. I will let me know and I will be there.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And the food is going to be incredible. I got the head chef he used to be the head chef at Jack Allen's. And then I've got the general manager that ran Jack Owens and Salt Trader running the show. And so I'm not an operator. I have all great ideas and have the wherewithal to pull together a really cool concept. That's what we've done. And I've formed the dream team to take it all down. And so it's an incredible deal, and we're going to be super busy. And then also, this entertainment district that we're building right now is very much the same thing. It's in an area where when I moved out here 22 years ago, there was 5,000 people in Leander. Now there's 85,000 people. Well, Cedar Park's exploded as well, all the way to Liberty Hill, everything. And so, and the financial wherewithal of these people out here has increased tremendously. It used to be kind of lower income, middle of the road kind of thing. But now, I mean, there's multi-million-dollar homes all around this area, including the lake area especially. And so people they desire something better. And that's what we're trying to cater to, is the demand that the community wants. And it's also, when I did my zoning cases, the city, so there with the mayor and city council, and I'm going through my zoning case and told them our whole spill, did the dog and pony show. And they're like, so you want to bring restaurants and bars to Leander? Like, yeah. No, we got nothing else to do, so let's do it. So we got zero, needless to say, they're pretty excited about that. And so, the support of the community is tremendous for us. I mean, it's nice to have so many people that really desire, that type of thing around their area, because it's becoming harder and harder to travel in this town. Traffic's not great. And to go to Austin right now it's a long ways from here with all of that, in between. And so people prefer to stay closer to home. They're living there, they're working there. I mean, they want to be entertained there, right? And so that's why we're filling the gap, to give the community what they desire. And that's why we're really focused on that. I've got everything from dog boarding deals to plastic surgeons. We're building close to 1 million square feet of industrial right now in 4 different markets. Once again, we're filling the gap, because what we do is we adapt. We find the need or the desire of the community. In this case, it's the desire of the businesses to be here in Texas. We've got the governor's office that's really focused on bringing people to the state of Texas, because the industries in other states, I'm not going to name them, but California, New York, and other places, they're looking to go to Texas. I mean, Texas is a great place to be. Our tax situation is much better. It's just a good place to be doing business. We're in the center of the U.S. I mean, why not, put Tesla and Samsung and all the ancillary business that comes with that here, and you look at all the opportunity that's been created out of that. And so we're also focused on, those new areas, because they're very new areas. That 130 corridor has been very sleepy for a long time. But get ready, it's all coming. That's all. It's happening right now. We just had a meeting with the city of Taylor and their economic development, and it's exciting with the things that are coming down the chain right now. And it's the same thing in Georgetown and Liberty Hill. I mean, there's such exponential growth everywhere across the board. It's crazy right now. Good times.
Amazing, Matt. Yeah, that's a lot to unpack there. I mean, you have the bar and restaurant business, live music venue. You got and everything that has to do with that. All those industrial properties, and then handle. So how do you manage all this?
Well, I've got 4 assistants. I got 11 agents, and the guys that work with me, I've mentored several guys into the business, and with the hopes that they'll stay with me, and most of them have. Some will move on to do their own thing, of course, but they only move on to do their own thing, because I've got a great place. I've created a good business that is very sustainable, and it's a great opportunity for a young guy to get in the business. And that's why I've got these young guys that I'm mentoring into the business now, and the ones that I have. Well, the 2 of them have been with me 3 years and 1 year, and then a year and a half, and then the other 2 are just starting. And we've got so much to work on. I got no less than 50 people on a spreadsheet all the time looking for opportunity, and we have to get somewhat creative in this market, because, especially with our investor relationships. I mean, we've got investors with lots of money, and we got nowhere to put it. And so we're having to be somewhat creative, because it's not a perfect world right now. And the reality is that we're in one of the hottest markets in the country. And if you look at a hot market, what happens is it creates a situation where everybody wants to be in it. And so it becomes very hard on our situation to be able to identify opportunity. And so we've taken on to new levels to be very creative with our business, to seek opportunity for our clients, do things that are much different than we normally do. You can't no longer go to a resource and search on the internet for it, because we don't have a single resource like MLS or anything. And the resources that we do have are quite expensive, and some people do not want to participate. So there's other ways, through our broker relationships. We have some great relationships with other brokers firms and brokers in the business, out there driving around looking at signs. I mean, stuff like that. That's other ways that we identify opportunity. We're reaching out to individuals that own properties and asking if they want to sell. Because it's like I say, I've got no less than 50 people at a time looking to do something, and it's all different stuff. And so I got each person in my group focused on different opportunities. They each have their own spreadsheet. They partner with me on things, and we go out and identify opportunity. We go through each thing. We try to figure out what works and what doesn't, and what we can make work. Because in a lot of cases, we can't find that unicorn. So we have to try to take what things are good about it and overcome the rest. And so we do a lot of that, which has been good for us. That's why we've been able to, complete our task and satisfy our clients' needs, across the board. It's busy, guys. I mean, it's like crazy right now. It's unbelievable. Busiest I've ever been in all my career.
Amazing. And so I'm going to bring up a question because it was recently posed to me, which was somebody that's relatively new to the commercial real estate industry here in Austin, and they wanted to get started. What do you tell someone like that?
Well, what I can tell you is that when you go to real estate school, they don't teach you anything about our business. They teach you how to pass a test. And even in the residential world, when you start in residential, I started in residential in the 90s. And I went to work for JB Goodwin, and I got all of the tools needed to perform my job, and then learned everything along the way, because it's a lot of just seeking opportunity through other people, seeking knowledge through other people. And when I started in commercial, I went to work for a big firm, and I spent 3.5 years with them learning the ropes, because you have to get somebody to give you the opportunity as an apprentice to go and do that, because you can't really go to school to do what we do, because it takes certain skill sets to be successful in this business. You have to be an aggressor, first and foremost. You have to learn to be a good salesman. How do you sell people an opportunity and make them believe it? And I'm a very truthful person, so I'm not the kind of guy that can go and sell somebody on something I don't personally believe in. And knowledge is power. So the more knowledge I have, the more opportunity I have to sell to somebody. And so the way I see it is that, if somebody want to get in this business, the guys that I'm mentoring now, they're going to get the real estate license. They're taking what commercial real estate classes are offered. And the rest of the time is spent shadowing me. If you spend enough time with me, I do a lot of stuff. You'll get a lot out of it as long as you pay attention. But that's really the best way that I see. If somebody want to get started in the business, find somebody, whether it be a big firm or an individual like myself, align yourself with them and pay attention, follow their lead.
Great advice. Yeah, that's how I started as well. I had a mentor, and I learned that it's better to copy genius than create mediocrity. And so, well, you have your own kind of special genius, man. We all know that. But congrats to whoever's mentees of yours, because I know that you have a lot of wisdom and experience and value to share with them. So that's pretty cool.
They're doing great. Every one of them's going to do great. And, when I bring somebody on, I've interviewed a lot of people, but I don't accept every person, because not everybody has the ability to do what we do. I mean, not to downplay anybody, but the reality is that you have to have a certain skill set to be able to absorb all of the things, so when you see something, you learn it, you're able to perform that task going forward. And so, the skill set of, sales 101 meets being able to handle documentation, understand the process of each type of opportunity, because in our business, we both know those opportunities are the same. And I'll go out and do a development project for a restaurant, or a development project for an industrial project or an office building. They're all different, and I do a lot of development stuff, which not a lot of people do. But I also own a lot of property too myself. I've got 2 of them I'm about to develop right now by me. Got one that's going to be kind of like a truck accessories, but it's for UTVs and ATVs. The people that go out to Hidden Falls with these 4-wheelers, side-by-sides, and all that stuff, and doing that kind of stuff. And then I'm got another property I just bought. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with it. And then I bought some properties. I'm doing some container homes on Airbnb stuff, and then of course my bar. And And I've invested in a lot of stuff in the past, because one thing I can tell you is that out of all the things I've done in my life, real estate is the one thing I've never lost money at, ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a great track record. And so, looking forward, and I know you have development projects and industrial, you mentioned Taylor a second ago. Like, where else are you seeing the most opportunity here in the Austin area?
Sure, man. It's pretty much everywhere. Austin has become kind of saturated and a little difficult to conduct business in because overall it's gotten very expensive there, and the time that it takes to get through their process. I've done projects take me 3 to 4 years to get completed, whereas I can go out in the sub markets, and these people really want the business. I'm real tight with economic development in every city because that's the people that are seeking the business to come into these areas. And we want to fill those gate needs as well. And so it's a common ground that we find between economic development and us. I mean, they're salesmen bringing opportunity to the area. We're salesmen trying to fill the need for that opportunity. And so, I would say pretty much any sub-market to Austin right now is doing well. I mean, I went out to Bastrop. I'm consulting on a project out there. It's a big mixed use development, 75 acres. My friends are doing it. They wanted me to come in and take a look at trying to do some type of entertainment aspect of that to fill the need for, there's a multifamily portion of that, retail in the front. In the middle, we want to do some type of entertainment. Not necessarily district, but parkland setting, amphitheater, something more conducive to that situation. And that's just something I've historically done so long and I've gotten pretty good at. So people like my opinion. And it usually works what I do. So, Bastrop has been very sleepy for a long time. I thought years ago it would have picked up more with the airport being on that side of town, but it didn't. But now with Tesla being right there, it's really going to kick up over there. You can see what's happening. I just met with economic development in the city over there as well, working on that. In the city of Taylor's, I mean, there hasn't been anything going on in Taylor since ever. It's like been slow, right? Slow growth, But what we have seen during COVID, more and more people are moving out to Liberty Hill, Taylor, and places. They don't feel the need to be close to towns. They're working from home. They kind of want to get away from the craziness. And so, like the Lake Travis area, Lago Vista, and the Hollows, where I live here in Treviso, like everything out here is exploding right now because the opportunity is that they can get away from the madness and be able to still work. And, but that's also why we need to focus on things for us to do, because there's a great opportunity for us to make some money as well, because people really want these things, and me bringing the live music scene back, you know what? I hope it does well. I think it will. We got a huge following. I got every band in the area wanting to play there, all the way from here to Denver. And our food program's on point. We don't have a lot of good food options out here. So once again, they have a need and we're trying to meet it. And so I feel like any of the submarkets, depending on where you're at, depending on if the saturation is too much and apartments and Leander's got too many, there's some things that there's not enough demand there for it, but most of it, we got a demand for retail like crazy, building subdivisions like crazy. And I just did the 30 acres here at the front of Treviso. We're getting ready to start that. I got multiple projects like that too, mixed use developments off 23A. We got one over there in Leander. I got just stuff all over in Cedar Park, Leander, Liberty Hill, Georgetown. We're all over the place right now. It's super busy. And we're still trying to find more because once we get all this done, we still hadn't filled the need for these things because the vacancy rates are low in industrial. We've got a high demand for it. We got multiple prospects right now for different industrial deals that we can't find anything for them. So we got to go to the next level and start building it. Once again, you just have to kind of be a chameleon and go where it needs to be. It's busy time.
It's such simple and tested advice. Like, be a chameleon. So like morph with the industry, find a need, and provide a solution to that need. And then on top of that, you're building community. So one of my personal missions is to leave a positive impact in the community. Excuse me, lasting impact in the community. And so I can tell that that's what you're creating here. You're creating places for people to eat and drink and be together and actually build community. And I think that is just a blessing for this entire MSA and this community that we call home. So I just want to acknowledge you for all of that. So that's really, really cool. So we're gonna pivot a little bit. I want to learn a little bit more about Matt personally, and so one of the questions I love to ask people is, personally or professionally, how do you like to invest in yourself?
Well, I have a lot of hobbies. I mean, as you can tell behind me, one of them's flying. I'm a pilot. I got a boat. I got classic cars and motorcycles. I do all kinds of stuff. I'll take off a month every year in the summer and go ride up in the mountains. And I'm an outdoorsy kind of guy, and I'm just very active. I don't really sleep much or sit around much. I've always been that way. And so I have lots of little hobbies that I do. And the way I invest in myself is through doing that. I mean, not to mention my stuff that I'm really focused on making money, putting money into things that make money. And so, I'm 55 years old. My plan is 5 years from now, I'd like to be in a place where not necessarily I'll never retire, but I'd like to be in a place where I can kind of pull back just a little bit, and with the things that I'm doing now, creating wealth and for my future and my family and, my grandkids. I mean, I got grandkids now, and, I'm hoping to spend more time with them. I mean, that's really important to me. I'm a very family type person, and anybody knows me knows that I spend a lot of time with grandkids. It's a big focus for myself, and all the things that I do with them and my wife, and it's just very enjoyable. And my way to invest into the community is, through the things we're doing, these businesses. I mean, it really is satisfying a need. But then we're very involved in some other programs, nonprofits, and with the pets, and as well as the children in these shelters and stuff. So we're partnering with a friend of mine, or working with a friend of mine on a program that he put together called Food Fight. And we got all these restaurants involved and stuff that's going to go to the youth shelter. That's going to be happening in May, which is a really cool program. If somebody wants to have any involvement in that, please reach out to me, because I think it's for a good cause. I'm very heartfelt for that, because, for the kids and stuff, kids today are put in these situations, these shelters and stuff, not by their own, situation, is because they were put there because of the situation they were living in. So it's really important for me to try to give them a second chance in life. And then once again, we're dog people too. And so anything with the shelters and stuff, we love, dog programs and stuff. My bar that we're building, we put a dog park in the back. But the hope that we're going to have these special events there for nonprofits and stuff to support that too. And we're going to be doing the same thing in a place here. We got all these people that want to do special events for nonprofits. And I think giving back to the community through some of that is really important. I mean, I do lots of things to make money and service the needs of the community, but then I think it's also a part, a special part for me to be involved in those things that actually give back. Those things are important to me and definitely heartfelt with those things for various reasons.
You're obviously a great guy for those reasons on top of everything else. And moving forward, Matt, how do you define the word success?
How do I define the word success? It's not about money for me. It's freedom. It's a love for your family and having the time to enjoy it all. Because I mean, as hard as I work, I do put in a lot of hours, but I do make the time for the things that are really important. And to me, family's first. You know, and just being there for the people, especially the young ones that are growing up. They form their opinions at a young age. I'd like to know that it was a good one of me. You know what I mean? So at the same time, that's the way that I see it, because I think there's a real opportunity for us to do great things for others.
Amazing. Well, congratulations on all your success and all those incredible projects. I cannot wait to come check out the music venue. I can't wait to see what you guys do in downtown Leander with that rainy street like improvements. It's just so cool what's going on around town. And I know you're really leaving a positive lasting impact in the community. That's really it says a lot about you. And so if anybody wanted to get a hold of you, what would be the best way for them to do that?
Well, you're welcome to either email me or call me. You can email me at Matt, M-A-T-T, at CMEATX.com, or you're welcome to call me on my cell. I'm always around. It rings a lot, 512-585-5313. Welcome to give me a shout there if you want to talk more.
Awesome. And are there any parting words of advice before we wind things down here, Matt?
Well, not really. I mean, I can tell you that we're on a path of growth here with no sight and end. Because if you look at what's happening with all the big employment coming in this area, if you're in the business, focus on what the demands are in the area, because you can't help but reap some opportunity out of that. Because what's happening right now, people are concerned about our economy and the way things are going, the government and all this. But in Austin, Texas, man, big industries coming here. The Silicon Valley stuff's coming here. I really don't see an end in sight. I mean, there's really so much opportunity here. It's going to be here for a while.
Amen to that. Austin, Texas is on fire. You heard it here, not first, but not last either, but you heard it here.
Absolutely.
Awesome, Matt. Well, thanks again for coming on the Real Estate Niche Show. Again, everybody, thank you for listening in, and we'd certainly appreciate any the likes and the subscriptions and all that good stuff. And until next time, thanks again, Matt.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Real Estate Niche Show. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from me or the show, you can follow me on Instagram at Ben Kogut and at The Real Estate Niche Show. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.